Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to Imbalance Theory episode 9. It's been quite some time since we did this series, and I'm very excited to be back here to teach you a few things about my favorite way of learning positional chess, mainly how to assess a position. So I learned this from Jeremy Silman's book called Reassess Your Chess. And from there, I have been trying to do this series. I did 21 episodes of Improve Your Chess with Sagar, which is already there on ChessBase India. And now this Imbalance Theory was a series that I began with the comedians, where they learned about minor pieces and then about pawn structure in the first 8 episodes. And in the ninth one, that is today, we are going to talk about the third imbalance, which is the space. So if you remember, we were talking about a list of imbalances in chess, and this one, yeah, here, as you can see, there are all these imbalances that we have to cover through the days. There is minor piece, pawn structure, space, material, control of an open file or a weak square, um, lead in development, initiative, and king safety. So we'll be covering this one by one. But for now, today is the day of space, and a very warm welcome to everyone in the chat. We'll soon be joined by Biswa, who's going to be here. I was, since many days wanting to do this, and finally today turned out to be a very good day. Uh, why is Biswa not in Comedy Premium League? Yeah, it's a good question that we can ask Biswa. And also, how is everyone's uh, chess going on these days? How is your practice going on? And how are things at your end? How is your chess practice going? Hello, Neelam Bhatnagar, being brilliant at chess. Hello, Aditya Kadam. Chess Captain says, I like tactics from scratch. Very nice. That's a good book. Chess Tactics from Scratch. That would be very nice. Vamsi Kaushik says, Mr. Sagar Shah, I took membership before you joined. Yes, Vamsi Kaushik, thank you for becoming a member. Very, very kind of you. Thank you. The Geek Artist says, I reached 1500 ELO. That's very nice. That's very nice. Kunal Kalaskar says, improving day by day. Very good. Very good. Sanya Natkarni says, I solve puzzles every day. Anshuman Swain reached 1300. Tarun Deep 1600. Stuck at 1600. Sagar, how to convert lead in development into advantage? Deepraj, we'll be looking at development as an imbalance later in this series, and I think you will learn it. Today is about space. How you can convert a space advantage when you have less space. What should you do? So both of this will be covering. One thing which I want to make very clear, guys, one thing that when you ask me how can I improve, it's like if you go to a doctor and you say, how can I improve my health? It's not easy. They have to know your health situation, what is your things that are happening at your end, and only then they can do it. So I need to see your games. Hello.
Hello, sorry, I was watching the stream. That's why I had this unmuted. Now I'm unmuted.
You. Oh. Biswa, I have to send you a new link because this OBS is not starting. So just click on that link and if you can join again.
Okay.
Okay. This is something that I need to fix. It's a problem that happens every time. But I think it should be sorted now. So without looking at your games, it's very difficult for me to suggest you how to improve. But yeah, Dr. Chess is one place. Also, I try to reply to some emails that I get, but yes, it's becoming increasingly difficult to respond with many mails coming. I'll figure out a way to tackle this. Akshay Mohan says Saturday afternoon sorted. Thank you for the session. Very nice. I bought and loved How to Reassess Your Chess, says Piyush. Amazing. Okay.
Yo.
Hello, sir.
Hello,
How are
sir.
you?
Very good, very good.
1 second. Biswa, how is everything? How is chess going?
Good. I think by practicing a lot of tactics, I have become very bad.
Very bad.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. When I practice a lot of tactics, suddenly I forget everything and I just play very bad for a week or two. And then I think everything falls into place.
Ah, okay. So you are like you are just doing tactics. You are doing nothing else, right now.
Yeah, yesterday I started in game study also.
Hmm.
But so far, everything in that book I have already learned on your streams.
Which one? The 100 endgames you must know.
Yes.
But how many endgames did you see?
10.
Oh, 10. Everything was covered. Do you knew everything?
Yeah, the first 10 are very easy. King and pawn and I think, the key squares and knight pawn and rook pawn and then rook and bishop, how to draw and rook and bishop, how to win.
Ah, going to that corner with the bishop and king. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so today, Biswa, we are going to talk about.
Oh, there is very interesting
sorry.
one, but this knight and rook endgame is insane. Like there is a position I'll tell you at the end of the stream maybe. But
Okay.
knight and rook seems very easy to play mostly, but there are some positions that just are insane.
Really?
Yeah, there is one position.
Okay, if you can show us later,
At the end, yeah.
at the end, would be amazing.
Yeah.
So, Biswa, if you remember, in our series, we had learnt until we had seen about two imbalances, and just to bring those imbalances here.
Minor pieces and pawn structure.
Yes. So these were the list of imbalances. First two we have covered, and in the first mainly we focused, on bishop and knight, of course, because they are the minor pieces. You know that bishops love open positions, knight love closed positions. Play on both sides favors bishops, play on one side favors knights. Pawn structure we learnt about isolated pawn, doubled pawns, backward pawn, and passed pawn. So we covered all different types of pawn structures. And now today we are going to go to space.
Like Jeffrey Bezos.
Yes. So what do you think is the general concept of space? Like if you had to say a couple of things about space and you know it already, what would be the main thing?
So the side that has more space has better placements for its pieces, has more free places for its pieces to move. The side that has less spaces is always lacking. At least one of its pieces will be bad because it can't find a home. So the side with more space, it's an advantage until you have pieces. But if you exchange all the pieces or even a pair of pieces in some cases, then your space advantage becomes overextension and a weakness. So that's
And last one thing which you have to say about exchanges and space.
side with less space should try to exchange, right?
Side with less space, of course, yes. If you have less space, you should try and exchange pieces. If you have more space, you should try and keep more pieces on the board. So if you, whatever you said, Biswa, right now, you know everything, okay, about space almost, like what I want to show. But now we'll see if you can apply it, because I have positions. So if that in practice, so here is what you said about space. So first one, you spoke about the general concept of space is that side with less space should try and exchange pieces. Side with more space should try and keep more pieces on the board. The next thing is that advantages of space. More control of the board, free space to maneuver, side with more space. Yeah, this I added in the general concept, so it doesn't need to be here. And the disadvantages of space is that many times in order to gain space, you need to push pawns. And when you push pawns, it means more weaknesses.
Got it.
And when you
Yeah.
also push pawns, you are lagging behind in development in the opening phase. So these are the disadvantages of space. Okay, so now coming to this position, here the first game is simply you're going to love it. Okay, so this is Capablanca who's playing with white and black is Treble. Here you can see that white has more space.
Yeah.
So Capablanca goes knight f3, reinforcing the knight. Treble goes rook f d8. And Capablanca says, I'll gain more space now. Yeah, he goes b4. So bishop e8, rook f to c1, a6. And now queen came to f2. Well, he could also go a4 and try to push, but he played queen f2. Now Treble took, knight e5 and knight d7. So first question to you and everyone in the chat, guys, what do you do here as white? White to play. White to move in this position.
Mm.
What are you thinking?
I mean, knight f3. Then d takes c4, bishop takes c4. Not finding any, like, I don't understand. Obviously, knight has to come to g5 at some point, I'm thinking. But then h6 is there, so that weakens the king side. Knight f3 seems like the logical move
So this, why are you doing this?
to avoid the exchange
Very
on
good.
e5.
Excellent. So this is a great move that Capablanca also played. And somehow here, Biswa, if he takes and you take, you don't even need to calculate too much. It's like a position where this is weak and yeah, okay, he will stop perhaps knight g5 to attack here. But I mean, a position remains bad. You can go a4, you can improve your queen's
Knight
position.
h4 also, knight h4 also you can play.
Yes,
I don't
but then
know.
he goes
No.
king g7 and can you attack this more? And already it's defended. So I would rather, I know this is one weakness. So when you see one weakness, you try to create another. So if I can get b5, I will be able to create one more weakness here later. So such variations you should not spend too much time calculating
Okay.
because it's like already better for you. You don't need to, you can decide if he takes on c4 or not. So knight f3 is a good move. Keeping, and guys, this is the thing that we just spoke about. Side with more space should keep pieces on the board, and black is cramped. You see, he has very less space in the position. So therefore, his pieces are also not so well placed. By the way, Nishotosh Sharma, thank you for becoming backer of Indian chess. Very kind of you. Okay, rook dc8 was played. And now what do you do, Biswa?
c5, I think.
Correct. c5, very good move. Knight f6. Now,
Okay. Mm, knight g5 or queen h4.
Wha- Okay. What is
Queen
your
h4,
idea?
queen h4, queen h4, queen h4.
What is your idea?
See, he wants to come to knight e4,
Ah.
uh, and that's a great outpost for him. And I think at this point you can exchange it with our knight because his knight is much better than our knight, or you can even exchange uh, with our bishop because our bishop is light square and all his pawns are light square. But tactically here, you can wait one more move by taking the queen to h4, improving the queen's position, and because the knight is pinned, he can't move, so he has to move his queen in order to move the knight. And then you also have the idea of knight g5, um, and then give up your bishop for his knight. Basically, that's the idea.
So tell me something. If
Mary
you,
Jan,
huh? Sorry.
tell me something, Mary Jan.
So here, he's coming here. You should not be afraid of it, right? Because you will take it. He'll take with either of the pawns. His
Then
bishop
we get
remains
knight e5.
exactly.
Ah, okay,
So,
this I didn't see.
so this is the thing which you have to do because of the first imbalance, minor piece. Your knight will be superior to his bishop, so you are in your mind you should always look at कि मैं कौन से pieces को board के बाहर निकालना चाहता हूँ, which are the pieces I want to get out of the board. So here in your mind it will be like I want to get rid of these two pieces because then this knight will dominate the bishop on e5. So
Yeah,
then you realize that this is not really a threat.
got it.
So here Capablanca just went a4.
What is his idea with a4?
he,
b5.
he wants to just create, and you will see this, and this is something we will learn. Let's look. He goes knight g4 here. First queen e1 comes back, knight h6, h3, knight went back to f7, and now your move again, white to play.
Hmm.
Guys, white to play, what do you do?
I mean, a5 is good, uh, but b5 is the other move. I somehow don't like b5 because b5, 8x b5, 8x b5. Hmm. Then, oh yeah, we get the b6 square for our rook. Yeah, why not b5?
Okay, so okay, look at this position very carefully, yeah, so and try to understand and try to think as if it's your game. Okay, so you will grasp this concept very
In
clearly.
my game, I'll play a5.
You will play a5 in your
Yeah,
game. Why?
yeah, because then it's really difficult for him to develop anything.
Yes, but what was he going to develop anyway here? With
His
that,
rook
your
can get an open file. That's the problem.
how
b5, 8x b5, 8x b5.
b5.
No, no, we play b5.
Honey, that is fine. I mean, let's say I don't do anything.
Huh.
Your move a5. Why do you want to play the move a5 as compared to this structure right now?
Okay, there is no reason. Well, if I have to play, okay,
Yes,
then I
and
would play queen g3 or something. King h2 maybe. I don't know. Mhm. Yeah, knight can not reach d6 in any way, so that's okay. Um, Let me see if there's any concrete idea of B5.
So firstly, do you recognize that A5 stops your idea with B5? Now no longer this pawn break is possible.
Yeah.
Do you
B5 is a good move.
sorry, V5. Do
B5
you
is good.
feel do you feel somewhere that A5 is a good move or a bad move?
I actually don't know.
No, but just try to think and say what is your feeling right now.
I think it's a good move.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like it becomes harder for him to play.
A5 is one of those moves that makes your position, I mean, it doesn't worsen, but it just takes away your biggest trump card in the position, which is a break here. So, this break is how you will create inroads into the black camp. Now, remember, a positional advantage with space cannot be converted if you do not get a breakthrough. So here, if you play a5, you are just taking away the best possible option of gaining entry into his camp.
Hmm.
So
Got it.
a5 is a positional blunder. It's a positional mistake. Okay, because now what has happened is this entire part of the board, there are no breaks. You cannot play b5 ever, you cannot play e4 ever. So there is only one break which is remaining in the position, which is
G4.
G4. But remember this thing that the more space you have, the more ability you have to play on both sides. As we spoke about, when you have more space, you can maneuver quickly from one side to the other. So that's the reason why here the great move is G4.
What are you saying?
So that the idea is that if he plays ever FG4, you are very happy to take back. And now you can always go king g2, queen g3, rook h1, use your pressure down this file, at the same time keeping the option available with b5.
Madness.
Okay, you will never reveal your card. And this you do for everything in your life, yeah? In general, I mean, if you have a good option, मतलब समझो I don't know, if you invest in stocks or something, at the right time you will make sure, if you don't need that money right now, you won't pull that out, you will keep it there, you will make another investment, and the right time you will pull out. So this a5 b5, all these pawn pushes, b5 by the way is much better than a5 in that position where we were discussing b5, because it is at least giving you, like, let's say b5, and a lot of people in the chat said this, it's better for white. बट कापाब्लांका इज लाइक कि मैं दोनों साइड पे तुमको टेंशन दूंगा, यहां पे से भी खोल सकता हूं, यहां से भी आई कैन ओपन ऑन ईदर विंग. सो bd7, his idea could be to play g5 because before that this pawn was hanging on f5. So he went rook c2. You see now how space
1 second, sorry. If it takes on G4, then what happens?
here,
Yeah.
take.
Now, if he plays E5,
e5.
Yeah.
Okay, if I take knight e5,
Knight takes.
yeah, d takes.
Hmm.
It's natural to feel a little bit of pressure
Queen D. Sorry, Bishop D7.
कि तुम्हारा किंग ओपन है, बट लेट्स से क्वीन g3.
Rook F8. I don't know. I mean, something is feeling wrong, but nothing is happening.
It's just your feeling because you don't usually push pawns in front of your king. But here is just crushing advantage for white.
Interesting. Very
Because
interesting.
next move, he will go rook f2 and then try for f5 break.
Got it. The king is safe. Although
King
it
is very
looks like
safe. Is
yeah,
very safe. So
because there's no piece anywhere.
space around your king does not mean that your king is not safe.
Okay, please go back to the g4 move. I'll try something else. Okay, so he plays g4. What do e5 here?
Yeah, if I just take d, f, e, knight e5, let's take with the pawn.
Okay, now um, oh, hmm, yeah, I don't see anything. I don't know how, but there should be some. I don't know.
So if there is some tactical refutation, I completely agree with you that this position would not be good, correct? But in this particular case, there is no tactics that are working out, and the space advantage works for you really well.
Yeah, what is black's best option once he plays g4? Once white plays g4.
So 1 second. So once you go g4, no, in the position, sorry, here, black is subjected to passivity anyway. He can't do much, so he will wait. Once he waits, again rook c2. You see, white will not cash in immediately. He goes king h8, rook g2, g5. Abhi, ऐसा, see, the move g5 is not similar to a5. Can you tell me why?
Because h pawn is still there for the break, but here b
Exactly.
pawn wasn't there.
Exactly. So h4, h5 is there. So now you see h4, h5, rook h8, or abhi, would you play h6 or would you play h takes g6?
I would play h6.
Here,
Maybe stupid, but yeah, I would
think
play
about
h6.
it. Think about what we just discussed, right?
Why not b5? इस side of the कोई भी खेल सकते हो.
Correct. So this is very important. A trick question. Do you want to play h6 or hg6? Nothing. Both the moves release the tension. You keep the tension and you prepare for b5. तो इधर भी और इधर भी. फिर space से क्या होता है पता है? This rook, which is right now here, looking here, suddenly switches here. While for this rook to come this side is not so easy with less space. So rook h2 here, queen c3, queen d8, king f2, rook h1. तो देखो कैसे he has put pressure. And remember this big statement which I have been saying before, threat is stronger than execution. In chess, threat is always stronger than execution on most of the occasions, unless the execution gives you a clear win. Then, so rook a g8. Now queen a1, rook b8, queen a3. A very smart move. He is quietly looking at the f8 square. So rook b g8, and now he played the move b5.
b5.
Because if c takes b5, what is the mistake here? Why is this?
c6.
Yes, c6 is just finishing him off. Because bishop takes?
Then h6 mate.
Yes. He has to give up a piece. Knight takes h6. So, you see, even this entire thing, he planned it ekdam shanti se. He didn't rush into it. Queen a3, b5, ab, ab. Sorry, ab. If he had played ab here, possible to take that. But look at this. He played h6 first. Yeah,
Beautiful.
the rook ko, he killed it. And now he took here. He can't even take here because of c6 and you lose the bishop. So he went here. Now b6. And this b6 move, no, Biswa, it's a risky move because suddenly Capablanca has done this thing, no? He has now reduced the game to only a5. And as we just discussed, it's very dangerous to limit the scope to just one side. But he knows that this he will break through. So if you had to make a plan as white here, what would you do?
King G3.
And then, I mean, just make, see, black is subjected to utter passivity. मतलब वो कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा, he can't do a thing. So you have your entire, but you have to plan your inroad. How will you do it?
Basically, both rooks have to come to A2 and A1. You can start with.
No, we don't want to figure out how to start and all. We'll figure that out. But first, where do you want to reach? Thank you, Amit, for your super chat.
Who wants to reach?
Sorry?
Who wants to reach?
Where? I'm saying what position do you want to reach in your mind? Like, what is your dream position here as white? You first try to think.
Dream position here as white is. I mean, if knight gets on E5 and.
Yeah, but knight E5 will take it.
Queen, king on. Yeah, like dream position. No. Why are you bringing reality into this?
No. Then you will say, I want my knight on D6. Then knight cannot reach on D6. So, like.
We still have E4 break, by the way.
How?
Oh, it's not a break.
He has both the pawns. So, it's maybe tactically, yes.
Okay, so rooks on A2 and rook on A1.
Yes.
And.
थोड़ा और बिंदास सोचो ना, रुक अपने कैंप पे, तो व्हाट इज द ड्रीम देयर, दैट तो एनीवे इट कैन कम. रुक A1.
Oh, rook on A8 and rook on. Not.
So what is the weakness in his position?
B7.
Yes. So now whenever there's a weakness, you need to gang up on it.
Okay. So basically queen A1 पे and rook उसके ऊपर दोनों. And then one rook at A7.
And then, okay, one rook on A7, his queen is there, he's able to protect. Then what will you do next?
Bishop A6 वगैरह करके sacrifice करके promote
ठीक है, keep it in mind. What else? Thank you, Haritik Mishra, for your super chat.
अरे बाबा, अगर नाइट जाकर बैठ जाए ना C7 पे, मजा ही आ जाए.
पर कहाँ से जाएगा?
नहीं जाएगा, नहीं जा सकता.
Any square that reaches C7 is controlled.
I don't even know what you want me to do.
I want you to find a way to break through.
Break through?
Yeah. So for example, let's say ये इन्होंने ये खेला, he went here, ये हो गया step 1, correct? ये हो गया step 2. दोनों रुक आ गए. So it was easy. You know, you didn't have to do. But now the next point, what you wanted to do, same thing happened, right? You wanted A1, A2. He put A3, A4. He moved his king. थोड़ा, you know, this is a very good strategy to move pieces around a bit.
Time बढ़ता है.
Time बढ़ता है. Opponent gets irritated. They feel like they have to do something. Sometimes they just sacrifice something and lose without anything. But now is the time where you need to come up with a plan, right? Yeah,
knight D2, knight B3, knight A5.
Very good. This you had to think that time. Correct? So knight D2 and the knight is coming there. But you see, this is what space can do to you. Space gives you maneuverability. So here, 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 here. अब क्या करे? वो तो
Bishop A6.
Very good. See, you had seen this before. And takes. This is Biswa's many hours of tactical training, which is coming to good use. So you realize, Biswa, all the positional training in the end does reach a tactical point where you have to strike.
Of course.
So this is already here, here, and here. And he resigned here. He's losing, like he will lose a rook. That, I mean, it will be equal, but a6, and then there are two passers.
Very nice, very beautiful game actually.
Yeah, this is one of the excellent examples of space which you should keep in mind.
Who was the opponent?
Treble, he was a good player back in the day during Capablanca's era.
What
He
was his
was
mistake? Like, where did he go wrong?
the mistake was that the starting position he was already worse, and the next thing is that he was facing Capablanca.
Yeah,
The
but
thing is, ये देखो मतलब कापाब्लांका का जो अपन बोलते हैं ना कि the positional understanding, your first he didn't exchange, this is fine, but this ability to make breakthroughs at the right moment is so important. And also, if you see Biswa, we could look at it very carefully. Even here, if you think about it, he could have gone here knight d2, okay, but this is a mistake. It can become very risky. Why? I mean, it's not a losing mistake or something, but it's not good. What?
uh, e5.
Yes,
शुरू तो बाद में
you should look at such ideas. But here, this move,
What is this move?
just as an.
Oh my god.
So you see what
Pain.
happened. The thing is, a strong positional player is always very tactically alert. So look at this. What he did, he moved around a bit, but put his king on g2, not f2, so that knight g5 को queen इधर नहीं आएगा. So, a very big part of playing this way with space is to constantly ask yourself, what can my opponent do? Like, can he break e5? Like what you are saying right now. E5 break kar sakta hai? Can he sack something? Can he do something?
Yeah, I really never look at opponent sacks. That's the problem.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at one example from my own game. I was very proud of it. But then the computer said that your move is not the best. But but I still use it because I think it was the second best move in the
Got it.
position. But it speaks about the concept that we just learned right now.
Cool.
Sorry, here. So, white to play. This is my game. I'm white. What would you play here as white?
I know what you played. But can't be. That can't be the move. It looks so dumb. इससे better मर जाओ यार ये move खेलने से. Okay, so clearly black has more space. White, if he exchanges off one pair, okay. Okay, I'm looking at some moves. Just thinking out loud. This knight h1 is the dumb move I'm talking about. It makes no sense. Although there might be hidden ideas. I'll come to that later. But knight takes g5 is an obvious move. Bishop takes g5 is another obvious move.
Knight takes f5.
F5, sorry. Another move I'm looking at is e4. I quite like e4. It gives a lot of things to us. Now there is one e4 takes. Yeah, I would go e4.
Guys, e4,
e4.
try to calculate, yeah, because it's the most natural move in the position, right? Fighting back for space. Guys, all those who want to do this tactical thing with rook b2 and bishop b5 or a4 and bishop b5, I don't think it will work.
Oh man, there's an intense idea. It's too good. You
What?
play knight h1 followed by g4. Uh, and then knight again comes back to g3, and the game goes on. Um, it looks very good to me.
Suddenly, yeah.
Yeah,
Very cool.
this
This
is
is
a
what I
great
did.
idea.
This is what I did in the game. And it's also a little bit misleading that black has more space. Actually, it's not. Black does have more space right now here, but I am going to gain more space on the king side with g4.
Yeah,
So I'm
this.
keeping more pieces. So if you think about it, Biswa, like if you take, and play g4, same position with no pieces on the board makes no sense.
Yeah.
But the fact that you could even consider a move like knight h1 is amazing.
No, I considered because I thought white has more space, so it should not. Then I looked at black and I found it. But yeah, I mean, once you see g4 combined with knight h1, it just makes a lot of sense.
So first, let's just see why I did not play e4. Actually, this is the best move in the position because it's more direct. And if you get, this is the main idea of the position, that you want e4 in the center. But the move that was worrying me during the game was that after take, which I want to do, knight g4 was the move which was causing a lot of problem in my calculation. And this is definitely have to be carefully, you have to look at it, because if you do queen f3 here, then he goes knight h4. This is a typical problem with space. Now white has more space, but his pawn is falling in the center. You can't defend it, right? So here I had to go queen f4 in the position, but then after knight g3, queen g3, cd4, I just gave up this variation and I said that I shouldn't play this because I'm losing a pawn here. But it turns out that after h3, I I even looked at this during the game, but then I saw knight e3 and I thought that this position is not good for me, because any other move means he loses a piece. Yeah, knight h6, bishop takes h6, knight f6, there is rook f6, knight e5, there is queen e5. But knight e3 and rook is hanging. But then after this move, somehow white is better. And if I could calculate this rook f e1 calm move, then yes, I would have gone for this.
Mm.
The line still goes on, by the way, after knight c4. It's not so clear.
What if you give इससे पहले what if you take
This one?
no, rook takes e3 or something,
No, but then take.
and queen.
Yeah, but you see, you are exchange down. And in return, you have these sick looking pawns,
Yeah,
and your pieces, minor pieces, don't have good squares.
got it. अच्छा, go back पूरा original में. First move. What if you is okay? Yeah, d takes c5. And now what if mm, sorry, I'm just thinking instead of capturing with a pawn is most natural, obviously. What if you capture the knight?
Yeah, the best move in the position. I did not notice this in the game. I mean, I thought maybe I calculated CD4 or something and I didn't like it. I thought I'll lose a pawn.
How you can now take knight? Yeah, it
Yeah.
takes. Now queen takes.
No,
Maybe
what?
no, queen can't take. Queen is a hang. Queen will hang. Pawn takes.
Yes, but then queen d4.
Okay, first knight takes. Bishop takes
No,
knight.
bishop takes, and if you take on d4, bd3, or some, like e2 is hanging. But
But somehow tactically you can.
yeah, maybe first g4, push
Hmm.
him away, and then take this.
Hmm.
Let's say knight e7, and then cd4.
Or you can take a queen also.
Yes, but in such positions, you should avoid taking with queens, because then you have his king is weak. In fact, you even don't need to take here. You can go queen h4 and try to mate him on the king
But
side.
okay, got it. No, I was thinking you have a pass pawn. He has double pawns. You
Yes,
have
but
your bishop pair. You will easily win.
no,
I
let's say
felt.
if take, take, just for the sake of argument here, this move, it's blocked. No, it's blockaded. So it's not so simple.
Got it. Got it.
So queen exchange ऐसे position में नहीं करना है. When the opponent's king is weak, you need to keep your queen on the board.
Got it.
So e4 was the best, but this was really a very nice concept. I felt very proud during the game to make this move, because it was like I want to go g4. The right way to play for black is here. By the way, if he goes h5, this I had seen that now I can go h3, because I want to still play g4. And if he goes h4 in this position, then I have e4, pawn takes, and next move this pawn is hanging. So he has no time. Also d5 is coming, e5 is coming. So he can't do h5 business. So once he can't do that, even knight d6. By the way, the best move for him here was cd, and rook c8. And I would have gone g4, knight d6, knight g3. And he has to create play here with his rook. Attack here, put pressure here, then bring his other rook. So strategically, I am better with my central pawn space, threat of g5. But he keeps on harassing me some way or the other. And he still maintains equality
Got it.
somehow. But in the game, my opponent did not play so well. He went knight d6. I went g4, stopping his pieces. He went queen e7. I went knight g3. And now white is just slowly and steadily able to white to play. His point was that this pin is very dangerous. I will give you one pawn, you take it. Meanwhile, I'll take this pawn. Guys, white here it was white to move. What do you do?
I think knight f5 should do the thing.
GF,
Huh?
GF.
No, wife. Uh, GF Queen H4 क्या करेगा वो?
किंग G7. आप बोलो ना, मतलब ये सब मूव
King
डिफेंस के भी.
G7. King G7. You gain back your knight.
How?
Bishop takes on F6.
No, queen takes.
अरे भाई Queen H4 पे है ना अपना.
तो किंग G7 I played.
Oh, King G7 you played, correct. King G7 को I think Bishop takes an H6 or something. Queen takes an H6. Just एक और piece चाहिए इसे. What did he play? He played H6. Okay. I mean, E5 is an idea. E5, he takes, but actually knight को पहले हटा दो, then you'll get a lot of tactics. I think knight f5 is the move. I don't know.
Yes, it's the right move, and it's amazing how Biswa has done much better than the chat. Everyone in the chat is like e5. Guys, e5 को bishop मार देगा वो अपना. H takes g5. So the right move is knight f5 here, which is mentioned by Abhi V, Jagmohan, and Chirag. So the move here is knight f5, gf, then queen h4, and king here, then I take here, and then I take here.
Yeah.
So knight f5 he took with the bishop, but the idea was the same. It was just a diagonal clearance sacrifice. King g8 takes, and I'm piece up. I went on to win the game. Okay, the two bishops were very strong. Okay, so this was one more game. Let's look at the next one, Biswa.
Yeah. It's amazing now how that in that position, his position is so bad, he can just give up a knight and be okay for like 2-3 minutes also. Quite amazing.
Yeah.
I think partly because his rooks and his knight were not participating in the game, they were on the queen side. That's why.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
No, absolutely. His pieces were not in the game, and this was the one of the main reasons. But also, the main point here was that if you are going to gain space, or if you have space, avoid piece exchanges. The biggest example is this one. That here, what happens is that there are all these holes and weaknesses in the game. But if you have those pieces here, then the same position, it's like pieces have covered those holes for now. Okay. We have learned a lot about, the virtues of space until now. But there are also drawbacks of space in general. Here is the first position. What do you play here as black? See, you can see that white has more space. Arav Surve, you just joined now, so black to play. Try to find the move.
I mean, I would play knight d7.
Sorry?
I would play knight b to d7.
Yeah, think. Remember what we have learned. When opponent tries to gain space, what does he do?
He's lagging behind in development. So then c takes d5. And c takes d5.
He's not lagging behind for now. He's doing okay. So two things happen. One is that he lags behind in development. Second is
there's an interesting move here. This move maybe not the best, but yes, it's playable. The queen f5 is a nice idea.
Queen f5 possible, but then I'll play queen d2.
Yes, it followed by knight d7 maybe, but the position is not clear. So let me look for a different move here. It's, yes, b5 is possible, and then maybe position is opens up on the queen side, and I don't know what to do.
I don't know, वो लोग बोलते ही नहीं कभी.
They never say in the Soviet Union that's not allowed.
See, one is that when you push a lot of pawns, you lag behind in development when you have to open up the position. The other thing is that pawn pushes create.
Weaknesses.
How can you latch on to a weakness here?
C5.
Yes, or
A5.
yes, a5. And the idea is
B5. No,
So-
hold up. Um,
what became weak? Which square?
the B4 square. So knight A6, knight B4.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Wow.
So you
ये
see,
क्या move है भाई? हाँ ठीक है, but G4 I think is a theoretical move here.
yeah, very normal way to attack, right? So he went here, knight a6.
एक second. So we have King's Indian setup, but you are playing on the queen side now.
Yes. Sometimes it happens because look at white. He's just going going bonkers. Knight d7, h4. So white ने क्या किया है? पूरा space लेके बैठ गया है वो. He's taken all the space. So now here you can feel that if you are going to make moves like c5 or something, you will be in trouble. So look at how black played this h5. Sorry, first bishop f3 because the threat was to take here and take on e4. It was possible.
Who is white? Samay or what?
He's a very famous grandmaster called Chom. And black is Korchnoi. So black to play now. What do you do? Suppose you are black in such a position and you are playing against Samay. It is quite possible he will play like this. What would you do?
I have an idea, maybe not the best, but okay, it's not working.
Biswa is that Russian who is not very confident. I don't know. And the idea is not so good.
Um, this knight, if he takes, let him take. But it's a great knight, man. Controlling a lot of good squares. Why should we give it to him for free? Okay, cool. I think I'll play queen b6 here.
Very good. Very good move. So you create a threat of queen takes b2. Any other move that you think is good here apart from queen b6, guys? Any other move? It should be in the spirit of what we are trying to achieve.
C takes d5 is not good or what?
It's possible. cd5, cd5.
b5? I don't
b5,
like it.
cb, cb, ab. Not sure.
Yeah.
Yes, Invento Gaming. Well done. Garvit, yes, you're right. Rajesh Kumar.
Knight takes c3 or what?
Bishop takes.
Yeah, bishop takes c3.
Yeah, it's possible, but I mean, somehow looks risky because let's say when the H file opens up, my king would be. It's.
Weak.
I mean, it's a move that engines will play, computers will play because they will.
Oh man, what if you just play f5?
Similar idea to break open the position, but with
But
e6.
e5. Oh, yeah.
So the more risking in the center, the more you break through the break open the center. Yeah, but queen b6 is the best move. Okay, queen e2. How do you continue? Also, guys in the chat, come on, this time you need to beat Biswa. Earlier, guys, you guys were much stronger than Biswa. The Biswa is becoming stronger than you.
Yeah, this problem is there massive. I think you have to play knight a to b4. Uh, what focus बोल रहा आप?
Ah, yes. This time chat got awake. Okay, knight b4 is not bad. Yeah, it's a good move, but there's a crushing move. I'll say one word and you will get it. Should I say it?
No. So what are you trying to do? You're trying to. Hmm. Yeah, Queen b3. Queen b2. What? Oh my God! Nice, 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 nice. Very nice. What a move.
Tactics, yes.
Superb.
Take. And that's the thing about space. Yes, he has pushed so much of his pawns forward that weakness in the position.
Oh, he's gone, no?
He just lost because this is just the perfect position. Everything crumbles now. c4 is hanging. Now you play the move next. Come on.
तो नाइट उधर ट्रैप हो रहा है, उसको निकालना पड़ेगा. There's no easy way, but इसे निकालना.
Yes, Bondita, Supreme, Mohammad,
और जाएगा भाई
Bakar,
नाइट.
Arav, Rishi.
I think
Tactics. Biswa.
भाई नाइट उधर ट्रैप हो गया है. उस नाइट को नहीं निकालेंगे तो बहुत दिक्कत है. See, bishop takes c3 is a move, then king takes, and the knight will go nowhere. मर जाएगा वो. So knight takes अभी कहीं भी नहीं है उसके पास मूव. एक मूव कैसे क्रिएट करें, क्योंकि अगला मूव आ रहा है किंग c2.
C2 or Rook B1. Rook B1, maybe Bishop C3. So Rook
Yeah.
A2 maybe.
Yeah. So now c takes d5, e takes d5. Can't figure it out. C takes d4, e takes d5. Still nothing. Okay, maybe queen, bishop takes g4, bishop takes g4, knight c4. You have 2 pawns for your piece and an extra pawn. Now king goes to d3. King goes to d3. Bishop takes on c3. King takes c3. Knight takes on e3. I think that's winning.
Small thing that had to be twisted in the end. This is the right variation. Takes here, here. Why does your mind even suggest Bishop C3 first?
Oh,
And
sorry,
not
because
knight
I
takes
thought the
C3?
knight is protected. I think knight just takes e3 first.
Yes, but why not that move first in your mind? Why didn't that come?
I thought my knight is defended.
Which one?
I thought our knight on c4 is defended.
No, even if it was not even if it is defended, in this position, first thought goes knight e3.
Got it.
Bishop, for you, does it come like bishop c3 first in your mind?
No, I was seeing the position wrong. That was the problem.
Ah, okay. So take, and then take, and he resigned. Because he's
Very nice.
what, 3 points down. So another perfect kind of an example of how space can really crumble if you don't take care of it. Okay, here is one example. Again, this is from my play where my opponent, I'm playing black. So you can see from the opening how it went to get an idea. He took space instantly. Okay. So now I said, okay, fine, let me finish my development. Let me castle. Let me put my knight in the center. He said, bhai, mere ko to space chahiye. He has taken space nicely with his pawn. So what do you do with black?
La la la, la la la. E5 खेलेंगे तो क्या होगा? और E5 takes some technique you have to do. E5 takes. Knight takes, knight takes. Knight G4 maybe. No, so first you play bishop G4.
Bishop e2.
Sorry, bishop e2. Yeah, that's a headache. Knight takes, e4 takes. Yeah, it works though.
What?
I think bishop g4, bishop e2, bishop takes on f3, bishop takes on f3, e4,
E5.
d. Sorry, e5, d takes on e5, knight takes on e5, bishop takes on d5, and I don't know, knight. Sorry, rook e8 check.
Knight is on e5, so it's not a check.
Sorry, knight is on e5. Correct. No, I don't think this is good. I think we should do something else.
Kalpak, your idea is slow, and also d5 pawn hangs. So you have to be a little faster here.
Okay, he has space. What do we have? We have development.
You have development and also space. See, Biswa, two things is very important. One is that when he is lagging behind in development, you can open up the position. But there is another way that you can also latch on to the weaknesses. So this is where you will have to decide your strategy, because opening up the position entails e5 move, while latching onto the weaknesses or attacking his weaknesses entails a little bit more positional approach.
Got it. Okay, b6 is another way to open up the position. B6, a5 is also a way. But a5 he has b5 and then knight has to move. It's not good. B6. Okay, latching on to weakness. Where is his weakness? His weakness is d4 is clearly his weakness.
Very good.
Okay. We already have two attackers on it. If we can get a third one. Okay. What if you knight g? I don't like this move. Okay. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, many of you in the chat have the right idea, But
I'm
most,
sorry, but
yeah.
E6.
What?
E6. Sorry, the idea is
You close the bishop. you you are not attacking his center. You are letting him complete his development. So how does e6? What's your idea?
queen will eventually come to f6.
But
That's the
how?
idea. Knight h5, bishop f3, bishop d3 maybe.
No,
And
he'll play bishop e2 first here. Bishop e2. You go knight a5. Even he can push you away with b5. अभी तो ये मर नहीं रहा है ना d4.
we'll come back.
Play with your pieces, Biswa, in the center. So your moves are correct. Your general idea is right.
Knight g4 ही खेलते हैं फिर.
No, not knight g4. See, knight g4. What will white do?
h3.
Yes. So in a way,
painful. Knight h5. But यार queen जब तक नहीं निकले ये गेम नहीं बनेगा.
नहीं, ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है. See, you correctly found this is a weakness. Put pressure on it. So you did this.
Pressure. Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Now he has to, your threat is to take. If you take with the queen, knight d4.
Correct.
So he tries to keep it simple with bishop e2.
What do you take? You take. No, you
Take.
can't take. You can't take. You can't take. Okay, now you play. Knight h5.
Why h5? Why not e4?
अरे वो ले लेगा ना.
तो वही तो पॉइंट है. वो लेगा तो उसके आगे देखना है. See, the thing is, you cannot just. You said you wanted a queen. तो queen आ गया ना गेम में. Queen is into the game.
Yeah, but we have double pawns.
No, that is not the most critical feature of the position. The rook will be hanging.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I think one thing, Biswa, what happens with you, and that happens with many people, is that when you make a move, you feel like if it can be captured or it can be blocked, you stop calculating it. Like even this position which you had given, queen a5 check and b4. So you see that and you're like, khatam. You have to go a little deeper.
Got it.
So by the way, in the game, I started with knight e4, which is also a strong move. Because I know that he cannot take my knight. If he takes, it not only unleashes 3 attackers on d4, but also removes his defender.
Very nice move, actually. I didn't see it that way at all. I thought double pawns bye-bye.
No, not at all. It's very powerful. Bishop b2, I went bg4, bishop e2, I took here. Now, the thing is that if he takes with the bishop, I'm already winning after knight d4. I'll be pawn up. So he went pawn takes. And now I played knight g5. My idea is knight e6 with 3 attackers. So he went h4, knight e6 and knight d4 with a totally winning position for white, for black. Is this like sort of, do you get the concept? Like he made too many pawn moves, gained too much space, but he lost grip somewhere.
Got it. Okay. A relatable content.
Okay. Here is one very famous game. This game will also put this concept in light. This is the game between Kasparov and Karpov. Karpov is white, Kasparov is black. What do you play here with black? Black to play. I'll flip it, sorry.
Sorry, what? Oh, who is what?
Kasparov is black, Karpov is white. It's King's Indian. Black to play, what would you take with? Hello, AD, welcome.
First of all, I think it's a trick question. Do you even have to take? You can move that knight, but no, you have to take only. Taking with pawn gives you. What does I mean, if you take with knight, then queen takes d6, queen takes, takes. Uh, and do you have a nice check with knight d3? But यहाँ पे रुक है. What do you do? Okay, okay. Hold on, hold on. There is something else here. Knight takes on e4 is there, although it's not very good right now. Basically, he has post f3, so you can get your queen to h4. सर ये क्या खोल दिया आपने? Hold on, let me just think. यहाँ गया, here, check, boom. Yeah, I think knight h5 is better than capturing this pawn.
Knight h5, ed6.
Queen h4.
G3.
Knight. Ah, that knight is there.
And also bishop is there. Bishop f2.
Yeah, then just take with the pawn and be happy.
See, Biswa, this is where you have to think a little bit deeper. Okay. The thing is that you are looking at pawn takes. Okay. It's a fine move because d6 is a weak pawn and you get rid of it. But what white will try to do is after takes, he'll try to put his pawn on c5. He'll try to latch on to this square. Maybe eventually he would want to maneuver his knight somewhere to reach d6. Okay, in some way, like here, I don't know. It's a long way off, but white has a good space advantage here in such a position. So the natural move which should come to any player who plays with less space is how I can use my piece play. So Kasparov played knight takes e5 here.
Queen takes d6.
Now calculate. If he takes on d6,
queen takes d6, queen takes d6, rook takes d6, and yeah, what is the amazing tactic that awaits us?
no, it's simple move. Biswa, come on, wake up.
Takes.
Yeah, Bhavesh Das, you're right. Garvit
Knight,
Kalra, you're right.
knight c4, rook d3.
But you can end it there also.
What did we gain through this?
Take, 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 take. Firstly, you gained a pawn back. You are worse, yeah. Out of the opening, you had a slightly worse position. Now, you are attacking two of his pieces. He has to go here, as you said. And now?
Take knight b2, but
Yeah.
I don't. I don't. Okay. At B2.
We got a pawn. We got a very nice pawn. At the same time, he doesn't know where to go with his rook.
Okay, interesting.
So what should white play here? He cannot take on d6. Venkatesh S. Yeah, sure. I'll have the jogging stream, I think, very soon. Yes, sells the music band Dhairya, Surendra, Chessers. No, Sarthak maybe not. Because there's knight c4 there. Always punching. Biswa, you have to punch. So here knight c4 is the threat. What will white do? He will
B3.
b3. So Karpov was like, Kasparov, what are you doing? I have protected my pawn and you have a huge weakness here. What did Kasparov do? Try to play like Kasparov, yeah? Don't play passive. Soon we'll have Grandmaster chess with him. I think something similar will come.
Oof, there is a dangerous tactic. Bishop h3. But
Very nice that you at least that you saw it. But bishop h3, what will white do? That will force you into difficult situation.
Hmm. Sorry, 1 second. He'll take on d6. Queen takes d6.
Queen d6 or even f4. Because once the knight moves, I can pick up your bishop. Because knight was necessary, to give the fork on f3.
Okay, hold on. All this is not necessary. I think this king can be mated. I don't know. I have a feeling this king is. I don't know why, but there's some tactic. Knight. Okay. No, there are too many pieces. But okay. So if we start with knight takes e4, knight takes e4, queen h4, g3, knight takes f3 check, king goes to f2, यहाँ पे शायद queen takes back the knight on e4, something like this is there. Yeah, I think knight e4 should be the move, I feel.
No, it cannot be. And you cannot play on field. Like this move, what you're saying is not something that you can play with calculation. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. For example, take here and bishop f2 and you can resign.
But boy, see you.
So you cannot just give up a piece like that.
Okay, another idea is there. Enjoyable idea. Knight takes f3. Okay, let's see. Knight takes f3, e takes f3, knight e4.
अरे बिस्वा क्या ऐसे पूछते रहे?
अरे लग रहा है मेट होगा यहाँ पे, बट नहीं हो रहा है.
This is the downside of solving so many tactics. You feel like tactics is there on every move.
How to make it work? Okay, so if you think positionally, then our position is d6 is a problem. Okay, so we can attack one of his weaknesses, or but active. We want to play active. Mhm. Why not just d5?
Uh, at least very logical move, yeah, Biswa. D5. At least you are not sacking a full piece. एक pawn ठीक है. One pawn in such positions is okay, but D5 CD,
CD.
ED.
Bishop s3. Still there. I
Okay.
don't know. I
Okay,
think
the thing is,
yeah.
you
I'm
cannot
not
play
seeing
first
it.
of all a move like knight e8. Okay, this is a very poor move to defend d6, because in this such a position he can he can first of all put more pressure with c5 and the pawn cannot be taken. There is a pin here, but also it's very passive. So what was the move that Kasparov played here was b5. Your point is correct. You want to strike with d5. This is a Marokzi structure. If you remember, Marokzi is e4, c4 pawns, correct? In such a position, black usually has three breaks, f5, d5, and b5.
Got
If
it.
you can engineer even one of them, the hold in the center will weaken. So b5
Got
is
it.
a very good move. He took ab.
Why not queen takes d6?
It could have taken, but then after take, take, b takes c4, we would reach the position where, you will lose the pawn, right? So
Why?
Karpov was,
Okay. You can play
like
b4.
take, 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 take.
b4.
Yes, but this would have been nice. But what is the problem?
This knight gets an outpost on d3. Knight d3 check. King has to move.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, like after this, b4 is hanging. I mean, it's a bad position for white. So can't do that. F4 could be an idea, but F4 there is also knight D3 check. There's also knight G4 attacking E3.
Crazy.
So you know what Karpov thought is, let me take B5, pawn takes, and now I'll take this pawn. So I'll be a piece, I'll be a pawn up. I have a nice position, but here Kasparov played knight D7. He avoided the queen trade, and here came the move F4. Black to play. Guys, black to play here. What do you do? So please don't sack.
I'm thinking knight c4.
Biswa, ये वो रहता है ना, like how kids when they are growing up they are rebellious. Same way when Biswa is in his chess journey growing up, he's like, I'll first thing he was like, wherever the piece is hanging, I won't put it there. Like first half of his chess journey, like first few months. Now wherever the piece is hanging, he's putting it there.
Yeah, knight g4 looks okay.
Yeah, knight
I
g4
don't
is
see.
the second best move, and it makes
Okay.
sense. What is the best?
ये फिर कुछ tactical Queen H4 types. Queen H4 G3. Knight. Oh wow. Queen H4 G3. Knight. Um, F3 check. King F3. Okay, sorry.
F2.
King F2. Uh,
This current move is very tough, guys. Very tough. And in fact, Sanjeev, Gram Purohit, and Aditya Yadav are only the two people who have found it. And Biswa, the move, should I
Queen F5.
No, Queen F5, Fe5. It's defended.
Yeah, idiot is defended. Hold on, hold on. What? That's the move. Guys, इसलिए वर्ल्ड चैंपियन नहीं बनना है guys. ऐसा इतना इतना ये सब करने के बाद B4.
Where will the knight go? Like, he went knight B1 in the game. But also possible was queen takes B4. But here, what was the plan that Kasparov had? What did Kasparov plan, guys?
तीसरा और रुक को ब्लॉक करके नाइट D3 पे
Rakshit bishop at 6 also should be okay, I think. But maybe just bishop F2 then. I mean, yeah, it doesn't solve the problems.
Why not Queen H4 check now? Queen
G3.
H4, G3, Knight F3.
Bhai, Biswa, you are saying this since many moves now. King F2 के बाद कुछ नहीं हो रहा है.
अरे वो रुक नहीं हट रहा ना उधर, so okay. Maybe you can just do Bishop A6 developing.
But Fe5, piece ऐसे ही.
Oh, वो लटक भी रहा है ना, उसका भी तो सीन है. Then Knight G4.
Then why B4 I have to play? Knight G4 was anyway coming last. Yes, Zain Nazar, Sid Rane, Vikrant Singh, Mohan Bikash Gayan, Shikhar Navdeep, Sarvesh Srini. Correct.
Knight F3 check. But कुछ नहीं होगा उससे. Knight F3, G takes, Queen H4, Bishop F2, Bishop takes one. कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा है उससे यार. B4 क्यों लिया? क्यों किया ये? Maybe C5. C5, then Bishop takes, Knight takes, Queen takes.
So here, Biswa, C5.
How does this work? Knight Bishop takes, no?
Firstly, Queen moves, cannot go on A file. C4 पे no जगह. Queen B5.
Yeah, ये तो Bishop A6 I think.
Correct. Followed by Knight D3 check. So Bishop C5.
You can't take because you take.
So here the move is
What, he takes your queen? No. Then knight d3, rook takes knight d3, and then you win the queen.
yes. So he cannot do that. And if he takes here,
That's the I think directly knight f3. I said
knight
knight
d3.
d3 and the rook.
He has to take, otherwise he loses the queen. And this is winning for black.
Yes.
So c5 के बाद it's gone. So he didn't take, he played knight b1, but now knight g4, bishop d4, takes, queen takes, rook takes a2, and black won in. Like, this was one of the fastest wins for Kasparov in this match. But the main thing was that how he dealt with the space advantage of his opponent. You know, Biswa, it's very easy to make moves like knight e8 here. Sab bacha ke khelo, try to defend your pawn. It's very easy to even flip out with moves like knight e4 or knight g4, like how you were trying to achieve. But the right move is b5.
I really don't understand the concept of this b5. What, like, how is it related to space?
It's like you're fighting back, no, the space in the position
Okay.
with b5. It's like white has space. So let's say if I play a move like knight e8, he will just run over you. He'll play c5. He may even do h3 with the idea of gaining more space with f4. So the main point of such a move like b5 is that you are fighting back the space in the position. Okay, let's do one last before we end today. A last position, like one question. This is from my game where I lost to Barua, who is India's second GM. So we reached this position. I was black. This is known as the
Sicilian, no?
yes
Dragon.
accelerated dragon. White to play. What do you do here?
You're white.
Yeah, I'm black.
I mean, one second. हाँ, यहाँ पे कुछ तो वो e4 हमेशा हैंगिंग रह जाता है. But okay.
White to play.
Yeah. Well, h4. I don't see why h4 is bad. Okay.
Because it's
Who has,
castle, no? Rook is not on h1, so h4, h5, you will even take on g6. What will...
okay, then f4 maybe.
Yeah, f4 is possible. So the thing is, Biswa, in such a position, if you see, white has more space. Correct?
Right.
Black
Right.
has less space.
Yes.
So if it was my move, like let's say you play f4, what I would do
You
is I'll
take,
take,
you'll knight takes d4. Okay, so we have to.
and
Yeah,
I'll play this.
Yes.
So
So f4 is not good.
what should you do? I mean, this is just it's an opening position. There are many ways to play. You can play queen d2. You can play f3.
One second, I have an idea. That one, like, somehow no. What is my plan? I'm going to attack king side only. So यहाँ पे See, one obvious move is there, knight f3, which I think is a waste of time.
Knight f3 is not so good because of when you have bishop on e3, what does black usually do?
Yeah, I'll play knight g4 and exchange it.
And yeah, you will have to run and you have to save the bishop with bd2. So instead of this, what is the other move?
Knight b3.
Yeah, it's also possible.
But
But
there is one move, knight b5. But after a6, where do you go?
no. So the right move is knight c2.
Wow, interesting. I didn't even think of this move.
Keeping the pieces, he has more space.
Hmm.
White has more space in the position and can continue later with b4 a4 and f4 g4, like play this. So if you see what happened in the game later was I was crushed for space like this. I couldn't handle it well. Okay. Here is one opening, Biswa.
h4. दिखाओ दिखाओ.
e4 e6
Yeah.
d4 d5
Yeah.
French.
Yeah.
अरे क्या हुआ?
Bom, pace. Very good. Sorry, I don't know French accent.
Knight c3, knight f6, e5, knight d7, knight e2. Knight e2 plan is that if you hit with c5, I want to play c3 eventually, like this. So he has made a nice center control for himself. But do you see like what has white done to gain space?
No development.
Yeah, a lot of pawn moves. Bishop e7, knight f3, castles, a3, a5, stopping b4. He went h4. What do you do?
I strongly feel like c takes d4 is the gut feeling, but I
CD,
think
CD.
yeah, I think that's why you need to play maybe queen b6 before that.
Yes, but what is your plan? CD, CD. I have already 3 defenders.
Okay, then why not f6?
Yes. So when your opponent has space and is behind in development, you try to break open. Correct?
Yes.
F6. He played knight G1.
Star.
He's what white is saying black is that, and by the way, this is a game between two very strong players. White is
Yeah, this is either beginners or strong players. This is nowhere in between.
Yes, exactly. White is Machija and the black is Ivanchuk.
Oh wow.
So here Ivanchuk said, I'll play CD, CD, Queen B6.
Okay.
And he played Bishop D3 because you can't take yet on D4. Take, and
Yeah, the bishop is when you lose it.
correct. You lose your queen. So here BD3, and his plan is now if you play a move like King H8, trying to now take this pawn, to come back knight E2 and say that, oh, I have space, I have everything in the position. So what did Ivanchuk do here?
f5.
But F5 allows white to keep his space advantage. And you see now you are kind of low on space.
But okay. ठीक है. F takes e5 is
He took and he took.
that gives white a huge attack, no?
Yeah, but Ivanchuk had something in mind, specific.
Got it. He takes
The knight is rook or some nonsense. Very.
Yeah, if the knight was not here, then rook f3 followed by taking here would have come into the picture. But now he just takes back, and you have given up an exchange just like that.
Okay, hold on. Fine. If there is a weakness, there is a weakness. Okay.
So what do you do? No, Garvit, it's too slow to play queen a7, b6.
I don't know. I'm
Biswa,
still thinking
you...
of knight e5.
Huh?
I'm thinking of knight takes on e5. I don't know why. Some tactics should come up. I
He
feel like.
played it. He played
Yeah.
it. Takes and takes. And the thing is, after knight takes e5, queen f2 is mate.
Yeah, I was getting a feeling like this, but I wasn't able to see it.
See, your feel works in some positions, sometimes it doesn't. Like in last game, it was not working. Here it was working. So you have to calculate. But it was take. He went here.
Wow, I mean, how fast this position turned is beautiful.
It's just this happens very often, Biswa, when your opponent has space and he's lagging in development. You need to do something there, and sometimes you need to sack a piece. If you don't sack the piece properly, you get into a bad position. So then what will happen is new imbalance will come, material imbalance.
Yeah, this space is very fluid imbalance. I feel
Very. I mean, it's more than fluid. Like space is actually static in a way, because once you get space, it is there. Like you saw in the Capablanca game. Once it's there, it's there. But if the opponent is like quick na, वो पकड़ लेगा ऐसा कि oh, weakness, here is the weakness. Oh, you are lagging behind in development. Let me open it. Then it works.
Knight c4 here maybe.
Yeah, he went rook c8.
Oh, this is a better move. Yes, rook c8 is just beautiful.
No, the point was, what's your point here? Chapa, thank you so much for becoming backer of Indian chess.
Somehow distract the queen and mate. I think. Oh, it's set. I think bishop takes h4 check.
Yes, very good.
Rook
You
takes
saw it. Excellent. Rook takes.
You take the knight.
Correct. So he went king d1. नहीं ये मुंह नहीं मिलेगा छोड़ो बिस्वा
नहीं मिलेगा नहीं कैसे
नहीं मिलेगा ये गारंटी guys in the chat आपको भी no one will find no one please no one will cheat here no one will use an engine everyone has to think on their own.
Yeah, so rook takes c2 I think. I don't know
that. This is logical but king c2 you have rook f2
yeah something देखो there is some possibility to rook f1 also. Oh man, if rook f1, queen takes f1.
No, rook c2, king c2, rook f2, rook h4, rook takes e2, knight takes e2, and then I have like two pieces.
So I'm not playing rook c2. Hold on.
Two pieces, two rooks for a queen.
Yeah, okay. Hold on. So, yes.
see this rook f1 is some idea. Rook f1, queen takes, queen d4 check, queen comes back. That's a problem. Okay.
अपना
Why?
bishop भी
Rook
hanging,
f2.
दोनों bishop are hanging. But okay, h4 one is not so important because g1 is hanging. So h4 is kind of protected, but d7 is hanging.
Yeah, rook f2 is a move. Rook f2 is interesting move. Queen takes to mar jayega wo, and queen has to go back, or he can also take knight d7. But in either case, queen
Yeah, knight
d4 check,
d7, queen
queen
d4,
d4
queen
check,
d3.
queen d3 किधर से आया वो तो queen तो
नहीं, rook f2,
हाँ
knight d7, queen d4, queen d queen d3,
queen
rook f1 maybe. Yeah, it's very strong. Rook f1 and then queen f2. Okay, maybe I have to do something like this. Such a position, I mean, if I can settle down, I'll have like 1, 2, 3 pieces and rook for a queen. So I'll be rook up.
Okay, hold on 1 second, go back. Let's just because if you just show us the move, we'll not understand.
Correct.
So it's good to just might as well.
Yes. No, of course. But the main thing is to the concept, like this class was not meant to calculate these tactics, but still, I mean, it's part of chess. I mean, the main idea was to understand how to break the space bind. So taking on e5 was basically what was the main point of this game. But still, I mean,
I think rook c2 में कुछ तो बात है.
no, see, rook c2, I'll take with the king. You play here. I take rook h4. You take here. I'll take here. Maybe.
बर्बाद.
No, I'm not sure. Like you have queen c7. Then king d1. Queen takes e5. But materially, white is doing okay. He has 2 rooks and a piece for a queen. But 3 pawns more for black. So it's a complicated position, but black seems to be better here. So yes, rook c2 is the second best move in the position. But it's good. I mean, it's a good move. Yeah, rook c2, queen c2, rook f1 is also over there. So he.
Okay, bishop a4 is there. I don't like.
Why I take the bishop?
You take the bishop. I mean, I can always give queen d4 and pick up the bishop back. This is okay. क्या खेल दिया भाई? क्या? Let's just look. कोई तो कुछ तो मिलेगा. यही खेला?
The thing
But
is,
what's the point?
After take, check.
Rook takes. Oh no, okay.
Where do you go with your king? Again, a very clear case of you thinking about your next move before considering.
Beautiful. Now either queen or bishop have to block, but none of them stop queen e4 check, queen a4 check. King goes there. Rook c2.
Yeah, rook f2 or rook c2 both win.
Oh man. Ivanchuk too. Ivanchuk man. Ivanchuk.
So this was the entire idea. And
What a
then he
beautiful
went
idea.
on to win. It was not the game continuation because white took here. He did not play knight e5. He took on h7. But then Ivanchuk was like, thank you. And he went on to win the game. It was also a very crazy game, tactical game. But you see, Biswa, it's like when opponent has space, you cannot be too slow. You have to do something at that point, or else you will be crushed. I'll end this stream with one of my favorite games. If we analyze this game deeply, it might take one full session, but just so that you know, it's beautiful. Okay, should I show you?
No. Of course, show me. What is it?
So white is Korchnoi, black is Kasparov, and a lot of Kasparov games I'm able to show because because Kasparov's opening repertoire was very dynamic with black. He used to always give opponent space and then fight back, like King's Indian and all of it. If you play QGD, Queen's Gambit Decline and all, many times you don't give away so much space because you are meeting D4 with D5. Like you are equalizing the space,
Got it.
right? So knight f6, c4, g6, c5, d5. White is Korchnoi, black is Kasparov. As we know, Korchnoi is also very amazing player. And this is known as the which
Benoni.
opening? Benoni. A6 Kela. What does white do usually to A6? Pratham Dobal in that bishop b5, there was knight d3. That was
I have no idea what white does. I don't know anything about this opening, but
No,
maybe bishop निकालेगा या क्या करेगा?
नहीं देखो
A4 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 A4.
हाँ b5 का threat था, so a4.
Yeah.
Rook e8. Now knight d2. So who has more space
White.
because of
This D5 pawn.
correct. So black is trying to fight back on space, play with his pieces. Knight d7, h3, rook b8. Idea क्या है? To
B5.
play b5. वो आया knight c4. ठीक है? He played knight e5. So he's like, I'm low on space. If you exchange, I'm happy to play this position. But Korchnoi was never, he was always like uncompromising player. He said, I'll move my knight. Now my threat is to push you away, then gain space. Meanwhile, by putting my knight on a3, I have stopped your b5 because my knights control it. So actually, Kasparov is sitting on a time bomb here. So he went knight h5. He was like, if you play f5, I'll take on g3. And then I'll take on f1 and then I'll take on e5. I'll have at least 2 pawns plus a rook for 2 pieces, which is good. So he went e4. And now Kasparov played rook f8. Maybe not the best move. Okay, king h2. f5. And white played f4. Your move. What do you play here as? Black. Black to play. 1 minute, I'll just come.
क्या दोस्तों ChessBase इंडिया पे हो जाए कुछ धमाल? हाँ हो जाए कुछ धमाल? क्या चलेंगे मूव यहाँ पे दोस्तों? Hello, I am Sagar Shah, and today we are going to learn about chess. Yes, thank you for the super chat. Yes, chess. I don't know what I'm doing. It's my stream now, guys. It's my stream. It's my story. भाई क्वीन h4 खेल देंगे यहाँ पे मजा आ जाएगा. I wish I could move the board. Queen h4.
Hello?
Hello.
हाँ, what will you play?
हाँ देख रहे हैं।
आप कुछ
देखो
तो बात कर रहे थे।
नहीं तो हाँ, no, no, I would just play C4. Hey, भाई मेरा knight hanging है, मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? See, this knight G4 looks like some nice idea, but उसमें कुछ मिल नहीं रहा है दिमाग. Uh, if knight G4, H takes, F takes. एक और आइडिया भी है. हाँ, knight takes on G3 भी है. Let him take. Let him take the knight.
So when you are fighting against a space advantage, many times you have to give up some material, but in the right way. Here, what Kasparov did, not at all easy, and it was a very shocking move when I saw it first.
F takes E4.
No, he played B5. Suddenly from that other side. So you know what the idea is? If you take here, then he will take with the bishop. He will attack your this pawn, and his threat is also B4 to fork these two.
Fascinating.
So he took here, which is the right move. He took, and he took here. But now what happens is that in many lines, this knight keeps on hanging many times when this knight moves away. So here he took fe4. And we know that if fe5 happens here, you want to take bishop e5, put pressure here. So Korchnoi took with the bishop.
Right.
bd7.
Right.
Queen e2.
Right.
Queen b6.
Cool.
It always, like here, he's not afraid. He's always giving up this piece for so many moves. Knight a3, rook b8. Finally, उससे थोड़ा गलती हो गया. Then he took fe, bishop e5, and this ended in a very brutal attack. Check.
क्या चल रहा है ये?
It's a crazy game. If we have to, that's why I said, if we have to analyze this game, it will take at least 2-3 hours.
Let's
But
do next time.
my point was just that in such positions, when you are low on space, you have to take some very difficult, like not play move like ye. ऐसा move करेगा, so then he will get all the full control. Like he will take and play g4, and he will win piece material. So you have to play with energy, and that's what we saw in all the games. b5 in Kasparov Karpov, knight takes e5 in Ivanchuk game, and here b5. So Biswa, I hope that it was a little clear, because when you have space, it's very clear to keep the space. Sambhal ke. Always when you have space, think your opponent ka kya idea and stop it. And because space advantage itself is so powerful, if you keep stopping opponent's ideas, he will get crushed, like Capablanca did. But if your opponent has space advantage, that is a very dangerous scenario. You have to either exchange pieces quickly, or you have to push him in a way where you get your play against his weaknesses or lack of development.
Understood.
Yeah.
Got it. Against the weaknesses or lack of development. Got it.
Okay, Biswa. All the best, and continue your play. And I think in general, also you should take some break at some point from chess. Like, there's one thing, Like if you do chess every day, it is a good idea to take a day off after a week or something so that you can refresh, because it's sometimes quite heavy on the mind.
Sir, do you take break?
मेरा काम थोड़ा इतना ये नहीं है ना, like playing chess requires lot more energy than editing videos or teaching or so on, you know, because
So,
playing
sir,
chess is a sports play, like a sports player is just way has to be in the moment so much more than anything else.
सर ये सब फालतू बात मत करो. आप बस ये बताओ कि आप ग्रैंड मास्टर कब बन रहे हो. गाइस चैट में हो जाए सागर शाह ग्रैंड मास्टर ओपी. ओके प्लीज आप मेरे को बताओ आप क्यों नहीं बन रहे हो ग्रैंड मास्टर.
I have to play tournaments, no, that is the main thing. Each tournament takes time, money and effort, so that is the main thing. Like, you know, when you gave 3 days to an online event, you did nothing else, you are like completely into it.
सर बट मैं ऐसा भी नहीं है ना कि मैं अपना लाइफ का 10 साल लगा के इंटरनेशनल मास्टर बन के बैठा हुआ हूँ. समझ रहे हो आपका संक कष्ट बहुत है. आपने बहुत इसमें टाइम लगाया ऑलरेडी. सो एक और साल क्या है उसमें.
हाँ, वो कर सकते, बट वही हुआ ना, दैट ओवरलैप हो गया, ये जो दूसरा काम है दैट ओवरलैप.
तो वो ऐसा बोलते हैं ना कि हाथी निकल गया पूंछ बच गया. ठीक है तो मेरा हाथी नहीं निकला है. मेरा अभी तो सूंड घुस रहा है. ठीक है तो आई एम फाइन. आपका तो हाथी निकल गया है बस थोड़ा सा. यू हैव 2 GM knobs. नो यू नीड 1 GM knob.
1 GM norm and 93 elo points, which is a lot.
अरे हो जाएगा. 93 इलो पॉइंट में क्या है. ये इलो इलो क्या है.
And so roughly I have to play at least 6 to 7 events if I play very well. Otherwise, I mean, generally to get in
Sir,
form and all, it will take.
ऐसा जाने का अच्छा ग्रैंड मास्टर पकड़ के ड्रॉ ऑफर करने का.
Draw
Judges
offer
event
with at this rating, no, because my K factor is 10. If I draw with a GM, I get 1 or 2 elo points.
100 grandmasters you need to just offer them draws. Okay, you guys know I'm very strong, but I'm not going to play with you. I'm going to offer you a draw. Take it or lose. Okay, that's up to you. Yeah, just trash talk them. अपना या तो सेटिंग कर देता अपना वीडियो और एडी ये लोग को बोल देते हैं कि just one event. Can we organize a federated event just to make you
See,
grandmaster?
there can be one very nice event where you, Samai, everyone are playing and I'm also there. Okay. And so every time I beat you guys, no, when you get FIDE rating, even if your FIDE rating is 1200, 1300, even if I beat so there is in FIDE, there is a rule called if the elo gap is 450 or more, then you get 0.8 elo. ठीक है, 450 or 350, I don't remember. So even if your rating is 2000 or 1200, I am going to get same points only. So
Done.
you do a tournament with 1200 rated players.
Let's do this game.
And do 10 such events. So in every event, I get 7.7. If I win all, yeah, I have to beat everyone. Then I get 7.2, and then I have to play such 12, 13 events. फिर भी मेहनत बहुत है.
क्या है आपके घर पे कर देंगे ऑर्गेनाइज फीड है.
But yeah, if it has to happen, then I have to put in effort, and that.
सर बन जाओ यार. ग्रैंड मास्टर बहुत हो गया. ऐसा अच्छा नहीं लगता. घर में लोग आते हैं देखो इंटरनेशनल मास्टर बैठा है. ऐसा अच्छा नहीं लगता.
आपको लोग बोल रहे हैं कि कितना टाइम से किससे सीख रहे हो, इंटरनेशनल मास्टर से, तो आपको भी
चुपा बोलते सागर शाह वो ग्रैंड मास्टर है. नहीं वो है उस टाइप के. ओके गाइस, enough ragging of Sagar Shah. I have to go. Okay. चलो bye bye.
Bye Biswa. Okay guys, so that was imbalance theory, ninth session on space. Did you learn more about space, guys, from this? Look at this one. We were talking about space and disadvantages of space. More pawn pushes means more weaknesses. More pawn pushes means often lagging behind in development. So Oh, hello, Prakhar. Great to see you here. And yeah, next stream will be based on material. And after that, we will go into weaknesses. I believe weaknesses will take a lot more time because to understand the concept of weakness, how to attack it, and all of that, although we keep on learning it in every stream, b7 pawn was a weakness and how to attack and so on. So Abhishek RS, thank you for becoming backer of Indian chess. And guys, I'll see you all later. By the way, tomorrow a special guest is going to come on ChessBase India. Any guesses on who that will be? He's a grandmaster and he's an amazing player. And I'm very excited that he's going to come tomorrow. Kasparov is on 25th. Kasparov is on 25th. Tomorrow we have a very special player. Not Aryan Tari, not Anish Giri. Oh, nice. Saksham Gyawali has got it right. Jan Christoph Duda. And we're going to have Duda tomorrow joining us at 7:30 in the evening. So I'm very much looking forward to having him. He's the World Cup winner. He's an amazing player. He beat Magnus Carlsen. So that is the plan. Maybe we'll do Grandmaster chess with him, or maybe there would be some kind of an evolution of his life, how he became such a strong player. We will try to we'll do something with him which would be very exciting and very nice. So I'll see you all tomorrow at 7:30. Of course, before that also there could be a stream, but for sure tomorrow 7:30 with Jan Christoph Duda. Yes, Immortal of Duda. We'll do something related to it. But until then, guys, thank you all for being very patient and learning. And it's great fun doing these streams, especially a big thanks to Biswa because he comes and he's so dedicated and he tries his best. A lot of you can learn as well. So please do thank him from your end as well because it's very nice of him to do this. Of course, he learns and he's improving, but yeah, his dedication is amazing. So thank you all and thanks a lot. Bye bye.